Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. Spit Squad. Cardi B files for divorce from Offset. Now, we did see the news that Offset was out in Vegas with his ex. His ex basically came out and said, hey, he wasn't out here with me. I was out here with my family. If you don't know anything about his ex, she's pregnant right now. His Offset ex is. Not about Offset, but about her dead husband. Her husband got killed some type of way. So she was out there with some of his family members who would basically be her in-laws. But I guess Cardi B just didn't like the way it looked. She hated that her name is always in the headlines for something negative, never nothing positive. So who knows if she's gonna follow through with it this time? But she definitely filed for divorce, and she also announced she's pregnant after that. So she did the news that she was getting divorced, and then she stepped on it by letting people know she was pregnant, and also by letting people know she was pregnant. She kind of get to pull a sympathy card and get some fanfare and some support for that. But Cardi B says, with every ending comes a new beginning. I am so grateful to have shared this season with you. You have brought me more love, more life, and most of all, renewed my power, reminded me that I can have it all. You've reminded me that I never have to choose between life, love, and my passion. I love you so much and cannot wait for you to witness what you helped me accomplish, what you pushed me to do. Is so much easier taking life's twists, turns, and tests laying down. But you, your brother, and your sister have shown me why it's worth it to push through. So if y'all don't understand that, I'm going to break it down very simple. She sneak dissing Offset. She basically saying that, yo, these kids have given me the strength I need to walk away. They all I need in my life. This new baby is going to bring me so much joy, and it has helped me prioritize myself and my happiness over whatever Offset may be doing. Drake supports Vibe Cartel. He says, free him. He posts a picture with Vibes Cartel on his shirt. You have to understand that Drake has an artist over there called Popcaan. Now, I want to give y'all some back information. This could be the underplay for the overplay. And what do I mean by that? So it was alleged that while Vibes Cartel was in jail, and this is something that DJ Academics brought to the surface. It was alleged that Vibes Cartel called a hit on Popcaan. Popcaan was leaving a concert. He was supposed to get taken out, and the car was following behind him, but because of the way the streets was, they were jammed up. So the car basically would have had to do the shooting and wouldn't have been able to get away. And while Popcaan was sitting in traffic and the killers was behind him, he never noticed the killers. But the reason he didn't get killed, allegedly, going off of what DJ Academics put out on his stream, go to his page if y'all want to see the full video. He basically said that it was some police that pulled up. They noticed that it was Popcaan, and they said, hey, we'll give you a police escort to get you out of here. Remind you, just like if a person goes to the United Center and perform, they still have to leave in the same traffic as everybody else unless they wait a few hours until the traffic dies down and leave. That type of stuff, right? So when you look at that situation, they saying that's what happened. Now, while Vibes Cartel was locked up, Popcaan, he didn't really do a lot. He didn't really say a lot about Vibes Cartel, didn't say free him, and they basically say people was beefing over that, basically being like, hey, why you not supporting Vibes Cartel? Why you not saying XYZ, and you supposed to be his artist? So what's the underplay for the overplay, to call back to the beginning of where I started? Drake could be waving the white flag right here. Drake could be saying, hey, bygones is bygones. I support you. I'm one of the biggest artists in the world. You out now. You got my full support. Popcaan also got on Instagram to say that the boss was free. And that could be him also saying bygones is bygones. Let's move forward now. Will Popcaan work with him again? Who knows? Will Popcaan just let bygones be bygones? We could see this going either way, but in my personal opinion, if I'm Drake, this is a smart move. And the reason it's a smart move, you publicly wave the right white flag. And with Vibes Cartel just getting out and his murder conviction being overturned, maybe Vybz Kartel can see this as the underplay for the overplay it is, but also use it to his advantage. Popcaan is now one of the biggest artists in Jamaica, so what can happen is that Vybz Kartel can use Popcaan's support to get himself more support, and then he can use Drake to get himself more support, and he could possibly even get both of them on his lead single coming out. And he's already dropped some type of new album. You know how like artists drop mixtape songs and it'd be like first day out? Well, Vybz Kartel dropped the mixtape called First Week Out. So we got to see how this play out. Will these three guys come together to make music? Will they do a variety? Maybe Drake and Vybz Kartel, and then maybe Popcaan and Vybz Kartel, or maybe Drake and Popcaan, and then they throw Vybz Kartel on a remix. Who knows how this will go, but in my personal opinion, it's a business move for Drake to protect his investment, and it's a smart business move. 50 Cent reacts to the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, and he basically says that the other rappers are haters. They hating on his success. Now, he don't directly say Kendrick Lamar, but he basically speaking on all the other rappers ganging up against him. And the question was asked to 50 Cent, do you ever see Kendrick and Drake being friends? And to that, 50 Cent replied, this is hip hop. I think it's competitive to a degree. Obviously, even Drake, his position and the attitude of his choices, those are 50 Cent choices. F it. Everybody got to get it then. When it becomes Drake versus Kendrick, it's because it's the only thing you can put up against Drake's success. Look, our culture loves to see you go up because it's confirmation that they can go up. But when you stay up, I want this ish forever, man. They'll go, well, goddamn, when you going to come down? If you don't come down, I ain't going to get my chance to go up. And then it's these clouds that come over you. And that cloud is doubt. A shadow of doubt that doesn't come from material or your work ethic is doubt from the artistic community, where they say, I don't know, his new is cool, but it's not his first ish. They do that to you, and Drake's just experiencing what you experience as a backlash from success, from the consistency he's developed over and over. I don't see a loss for Drake. The people who bought Drake material are going to buy Drake material when his next song comes out. Now that ish that I do, it ruins the whole career. Now, obviously, when he talking about what he do ruin your whole career, he's talking about Ja Rule. Now, to an extent, 50 Cent definitely ruined Ja Rule's career. Part of it was the indictment that Ja Rule went through with the feds. If y'all don't understand what happened with that, just go Google that and look it up. But I think 50 Cent is right, man. When you become successful, or when people perceive you to be successful and you stay in that success, a lot of people can become resentment. Just imagine you successful for 10 years and somebody been trying to be successful for 10 years. Or just imagine you're successful for 10 years, somebody was successful for 1 year and never saw that same type of first year success again. That can build up some resentment, especially if you not making yourself available to them. It's a phrase that people use in the streets when they press people, and some people just say it sometimes. It's called cut me in or cut it out. And that's the representation of what's going on with Drake. A lot of these people are feeling like, man, he ain't helped me out. He ain't gave me a feature. He getting all his money. I ain't getting no money with him. F him. Cut me in or cut it out. Or it's people who saying, yeah, he gave me a hit back in the day, but that was a hit even without him. Or I would have had that hit anyway. Or I wrote that song. He ain't make the song. He just helped it a little bit. He helped it go further. And we know how that go. But yeah, man, 50 Cent is correct about this, man. He's correct about what success or make people see or perceive about you. And so when you first starting off, if you don't skyrocket, people don't want to see you do that slow grind, because that slow grind and the way you make it to the top is representation of what they didn't do to put themselves in position to win. Not going to take too much time on this, but one of the wildest things I seen was Megan Thee Stallion at the Kamala Harris rally. Now, I don't mind her coming up there performing and, giving it up for the Democrats or the Democratic Party. But the thing about this is that you go up there and you perform a song and you twerking and you dancing. I mean, she didn't even make a specific song to basically support the rally. Now, don't get me wrong. I remember when the Dixie Chicks went on TV or on some award show and they made like a political stand. And when they did that, they basically got banned. We never saw them again. That's one. But also, two, if you're going to be used by these politics, at least go up there and show that you know what's going on. It don't matter to me what side you go for. If you're going to go for Kamala or if you're going to go for Trump, that's not my decision to make. But what I will say is don't let them use you as a pawn. Like, I can imagine a call between Megan and Kamala going like, hey, girl, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. You want to come and perform at my rally to support me and maybe get some of your people behind me? Yeah, I'll do it. But so when we look at that, all you have to say is that I haven't heard Megan Thee Stallion or seen Megan Thee Stallion. I haven't seen any clip surface because I don't follow her on social media, but I haven't seen any clip surface of her basically supporting Kamala or saying, I like these policies about Kamala or Kamala is going to do X, Y, Z. So to me, Kamala thought, or Kamala's team thought that, yo, we don't need her to come up here and say anything. Let's just pay her a fee to come perform, let her dance around, and that's gonna be enough to get her fan base, because her fan base don't care about the issues. They don't care about the politics. They just care about, seeing her dance around and they hottie. So yeah, I just feel like that was a pawn move. And I'm not saying that she can't support Kamala, but if I'm Megan Thee Stallion and I'm saying that, I'm a role model to little girls, and I'm saying that I'm a businesswoman, and if I'm Megan Thee Stallion and I'm saying that, I'm a role model to these little girls, and if I'm Megan Thee Stallion and I'm saying that my voice matter, use the opportunity to use your voice to show the young girls and the people that support you that, hey, I'm not just up here to dance, I'm up here supporting her because of. That also goes for everybody else. And to be honest, she could have still performed one of her songs, but I feel like if you're trying to get the vote, she could have performed the black national anthem. Like, she could have performed that. Like, I understand she need to get her sales, but do something that shows the intelligence of this decision. Because right now, when you look around, all it looks like is that Kamala or whoever was on her team was like, yeah, let's get her up here to shake some ass. They gonna resonate with that. The black people really gonna fall behind us after they see her twerking. Young Thug's motion to get the prosecutors tossed from the case was denied. Now, I don't know why this judge denied that. When you look at it, those two maybe end up being called up as witnesses. But if you Brian Steele, a lot of these motions you're putting them in so you can bring them back up and just in case Young Thug get found guilty, you can bring them back up on appeal. Now, when I look at this new judge appears to be fair and nonsense, but she also appears to be someone who don't have bias, but also have her life bias. Y'all can take that however y'all want. Now, when I look at this situation, I feel like she feels like this case was just such a shit show that she feels like, okay, I'm not going to bail these guys out for the misconduct of Glanville. I'm just going to let it continue to move forward, and however it play out. And I also think she might feel like, yo, the state of Atlanta has spent so many taxpayer dollars and resources to prosecute this case with public defenders and with prosecutors and stuff like that. It would be egregious to let this case just drop right here. But I think a lot of times when you look at it, man, you have to just cut your losses and move forward. And that's what I think she should do. It was a lot of corruption in this trial. That's clear. It was a lot of things that was done wrong. It was a lot of things that was said that were incorrect, that shouldn't have been said by the other judge. And so if you want to uphold the integrity of the court, if you want to show the people of Atlanta that, hey, we want to get these people off the street if we feel they've done something wrong, but we also want to uphold the integrity of the court and do it the right way. And what is doing it the right way? Doing it the right way is basically saying, I'm going to cross my T's and dot my I's and make sure that everything goes exactly the way it's supposed to, because this is how it is supposed to go in this situation. And I think that, Brady material was withheld from Young Thug. I definitely believe this should be a mistrial, but not only should it be a mistrial, it should be a mistrial with prejudice. I'm going to keep mentioning this. If we look at the Alec Baldwin case, he went to trial for manslaughter, murder, whatever they were trying to charge him with. And then they found out, his lawyers found out that some Brady material was kept out of his case. And the judge on the case basically gave him a mistrial. And she gave him a mistrial with prejudice, meaning he can't be tried again. Now, when we look at this, a lot of things play into the factor with that. The judge could feel empathetic with him because he's older. The judge could be enamored by him because he's a actor. He was on one of the greatest shows of, I think it was the 2000s or maybe early 90s. 30 Rock. That was one of the most popular sitcoms at that time and one of the most popular sitcoms ever. Also, the judge could be empathetic with the fact that, you know, he looks like her. He looks like he could be her brother. He looked like he could be her uncle. He looked like he could be her father. So maybe even her grandfather, depending on how young the judge is. But when you count those things into it, you can look at that person and see some humanity in them. Whereas if you sitting up on the bench and you're a white woman, or if you're a white man, or whatever your orientation may be, you can sit up there and you can look at them and say, well, I don't understand this rap music. I don't understand this lifestyle. I don't understand why he act how he act. I don't understand all the posturing and all the jewelry and all whatever, you know, all of those other things. And you cannot have sympathy for a person that you should have, or you could not make a decision in the best interest of a person because you feel like, well, if they didn't get him for this, they would have got him for something else. So let's just keep this going. Or if they wouldn't have did these things, they would have had him dead to rights. So I'm going to allow this to keep going. And that's not how the justice system should work. The justice system should work like, hey, we were supposed to follow a protocol. We didn't follow the protocol. And now everybody else have to be held accountable. And even though you may feel like this guy's guilty, this guy should walk free because his rights were violated. And that's what America is supposed to be built on. It's supposed to be built on the Constitution that protect the citizens' rights. And Young Thug is a citizen of the United States of America. Oh, look at that. I should probably get like 4 of these, bro. And the little Da Vinci, it's basic, but it's decent, though. Let's see what it is. 3? I'll probably get like 3 of these. Well, I'm probably finna just get my lady all of these right here. Christian Louis Vuitton. That one crazy right there. With Chanel number 5. What a Burberry store. Oh, there it go right there. Tory Lanez security/driver finally speaks up. Now, to be honest, I think I spoke about this a little bit on the podcast, last podcast, episode 16. But since then, Kelsey has come out and spoken. She said, it's easy to get lost in the media, but let's remember my name was cleared by both parties involved. Stay tuned. End quote. Now, basically, her name was never cleared. Let's just be honest. What happened was Megan never said that Kelsey had the gun. She said that Tory shot her. Now, obviously, if Megan says that Tory shot her, that means, or we would assume that meant Kelsey didn't shoot her or Kelsey never had the gun. That's not what happened, and that's not true, right? Megan, it was just like a process of elimination. Now, when we look at the situation, I don't believe that Tory never said he saw her with the gun, because what Tory lawyer was insinuating was that it was a possibility that Kelsey was the one with the gun. Now, the first mistake Tory Lanez made was he tried to protect Kelsey from the beginning. If he saw Kelsey with the gun, he should have just said that he saw Kelsey with the gun. Now, this is a side note, but I believe if the YSL trial would have happened before the Tory Lanez situation happened and Gunna would have came out and his career would have still been lit, Tory Lanez would have definitely went on that stand and said, hey, Kelsey had the gun. Now, if y'all want to know what I think about what his security guard did or his security testimony, anything about that, go back and check out episode 16, same spit, different face, episode 16, to know all the details about what's happening and what the driver is saying and how that happened. But anyway, I don't think that Kelsey did not have a gun. I mean, anybody with any common sense would say, hey, if you catch COVID and Kelsey caught COVID, you go out of town, you come back, you chilling with who you think is your guy, Tory Lanez, and who you think is your friend, Megan Thee Stallion. Y'all end up getting into a fight. You find out that, you know, she been dealing with Tory Lanez behind your back, and then you already allegedly have a gun in the car, or allegedly it's already a gun in the car, whoever it may be, it's not far-fetched to think that somebody who already has showed that they had a temper and they was already fighting would go grab the gun. And it's been alleged that, Megan Thee Stallion did this to Kelsey a bunch of times, and this is something that she did. Kelsey would get a guy, Megan would sleep with him. Kelsey would like a guy, Megan would tell her to go get the guy, then Megan would go behind her back and talk to the guy. Jealous behavior, if you ask me. But anyway, so when Tory Lanez, I don't believe his security did him any due justice with what he said inside of those documents. And like I said, if y'all want to check out those documents, go back and watch Same Spit, Different Face, episode 16. That's all I really want to talk about of that. To me, Tory still don't get out of jail on this. And if it's me, what I need to figure out, if I'm Tory's new lawyer, once I get back in trial or even before trial, I need to figure out, why did the witness change his story? At first, the witness said he saw the muzzle flash go off against a small girl. And he said that he saw the big guy and the small guy. He said he saw them jumping one girl, and that would kind of line up with them saying he was trying to wrestle, or Tory was trying to wrestle the gun away. But then after going to see the prosecutors, he come back and say that he saw Tory shoot the gun 5 times. And then after saying he saw Tory shoot the gun, the prosecutors basically added the charges at the last second of Tory Lanez being in possession of a gun, which would carry time. So to me, Tory definitely got railroaded, and I definitely don't like the fact that a prosecutor is allowed to add charges after the case has started. So basically, the prosecutor said, oh, it looks like we're about to lose this. Let's add this other charge so the jury can't help but find him guilty. I think that's a railroad within itself, and I also think that that's something that need to be changed. Now, how does that help people if that law get changed? I think it helps some people, but I think in the most parts of things, it won't help people, because what the prosecutor will start doing is they'll just start throwing a whole bunch of charges on you at the beginning, and you may go into this court case or this trial with 10 different charges instead of like the 1, 2, or 3. So in order to combat that, they would basically have to put more legislation in to say, hey, you're not allowed to put more than XYZ charges on them. Or the judge would have to go to the information and say, hey, if you already charging him with this, you can't charge him with that. Or if you charging her with that, you can't charge her with this. The equivalent of it, what I would say is like, okay, if you charge somebody with shooting charges, well, obviously they will have the gun in their hand. So you can't charge them with having the gun in their hand if you already charging them with the shooting or something like that. I'm not in legislature. I just don't like the fact that they added that charge on at the end because they felt like they was about to lose. It was just like the person who's at the basketball court playing. They playing a 21. Somebody else got 20. They got 19, and they feel like they can't win. So they like, hey, man, let me get my ball. I'm going home. Yeah, so that's what I feel like the prosecutors did to Tory. But we'll see how this all plays out. In my opinion, Tory will still end up going to jail, but I think it will vindicate him from the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion, which is what he actually wants. Wack 100 says that 50 Cent and Rick Ross will never come to blows. They'll never have any real friction in the streets because they both are businessmen. They both handling their business. They both doing X, Y, Z, and they don't need any of this BS to come back on their real business that they doing. So they definitely gonna stay out of the BS. They definitely gonna stay away from the BS. They definitely gonna move forward. They gonna continue to troll each other. And 50 Cent is looking for investments for something. And Wack 100 said he don't think anything of it. It don't mean that 50 Cent broke. 50 Cent could probably spend all his own money on it. But why do it when you can spend somebody else's money and get help for that? And have them bring in with you. So instead of spending all 12 million of your dollars, you may spend 6 million of your dollars and still have 6 million liquid, or you may spend 2 million and be able to split it with somebody and also combine resources and influence. So I think that is a great way to look at it. For those of y'all who don't know, man, I'm a huge supporter of the things that 50 Cent do, man, because he's somebody who made it out. He's somebody who went through all the adversity. He's somebody who got shot 9 times. He's somebody who saw his career start to fall off a little bit. He transitioned to acting. People clowned him for acting. And now he's one of the biggest black directors and producers and writers and showrunners and actors in not only the black cinema world, but in the cinema world overall. And you have to salute that. And I know this is finna be a random thought, but y'all got to give Sexy Red some grace, man. I believe that Sexy Red can be like 50 Cent in the future. And one of my things I always say is if 50 Cent would have died at the height of the Ja Rule beef, people would have just said, oh, man, he got what he deserved. He is what he is. He did X, Y, Z. He used to get busy in the street. He was asking for the beef. He was trolling. He was telling them, yeah, but and we would have never gotten the 50 Cent we got today, the one who's a philanthropist, the one who gives back to the community, the one who looks out for the young up-and-coming artists, the one who mentor a lot of people. So salute the Sexy Red, man. Give her her flowers and allow her to become who she's going to really be. Once again, this is Fairplay 2333 of Same Spit Different Face podcast. Well, my opinions is facts. And if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And if you do like my opinions, click the subscribe button and you can follow me on all platforms. Peace. Salute to Dame Dash, man. He's finally been allowed to sell his portion of Roc-A-Fella Records. It's been reported that Dame Dash will have his 33.3% interest in Roc-A-Fella sold off by the U.S. Marshal at a public auction on August 29th in Manhattan. He been trying to sell this for the longest, man. So salute to Dame Dash, man. This couldn't have happened at a better time. I think Dame Dash got a lot of the right information, but he's the wrong messenger for a lot of the information. And I was just thinking about this earlier. There's no such thing as a wrong messenger long as they giving the right information. But a lot of people, their emotions be in the situation, so they don't hear a message that they really need to hear, because instead of hearing the message, they worried about who the messenger is. All right, this is gonna be quick, simple, and to the point. Druski was on like a little interview, and he basically announced that he broke up with Rubi Rose, or they broke up. And then the interviewer asked him why he broke up, and he basically said, "Hey, we broke up because she was too expensive." Now, he did say he was just joking and Rubi Rose spent more money in a relationship than he did. But let's just be honest. Nobody expected that to last. When you saw how she was moving in a relationship and what was going on, I think for Druski, it was just like, I never been able to have this person. This is the person I was watching coming up. This is the person I always wanted. I seen her through Atlanta. I seen different guys with her. She was my type. I want to get a chance to get her. Boom. He got the chance to get with her, and then he decided like, oh, this ain't really who I thought she was. This ain't really who I want. And then for her, she was like, yo, I mean, I guess he cool, but he got clout and he got money, so I can hang with him and I can get my clout up. I think Rubi Rose only cared about getting her clout up. And let me tell y'all something that's what do you call it? Something that's underestimated when I first saw them get together. I've heard one Druski interview a while ago on the Breakfast Club, and he talked about his mom and his dad being married. He talked about having both parents, right? So when he come from that background and he look at the way Rubi Rose move and how she do things, that's not the example that was set for him of what a relationship should look like or what marriage should look like. So for him, I knew from that when I first saw them together, I knew it wasn't gonna last just based off of his upbringing and his background. And I know a lot of y'all probably would say, "Oh, well, that's hate. You wishing bad on their relationship." Nah, I'm not wishing bad or wasn't wishing bad on their relationship. Just if you pay attention to people and what they say, you can figure out the patterns and what they trying to do and where they trying to go with their life. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. Once again, this is Fairplay 2333 of Same Spit Different Face podcast. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And if you do like my opinions, you can hit the subscribe button and follow me on all platforms. Peace.